This is our problem. It's not that we own or we don't own money. It isn't that we're involved or we're not involved. It isn't that we're in or we're not in relationships. It is that those things own us. See, there's two places that you can hold a gift. All of these are gifts of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah gives us wealth, Allah gives us youth, Allah gives us health, Allah gives us intellect, Allah gives us family. And there are two places you can hold any gift. You can hold it in the hand or you can hold it in the heart. And our problem is when we take the gift and we hold it in our heart. There's nothing wrong with having the gift as long as it stays in your hand. So as long as the money is in your hand, as long as the status is in your hand, as long as the relationships with the creation are in your hand, then you're fine. The problem is when they're in your heart. Because the only thing that's supposed to be in the heart is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And I'm going to clarify what that means, because sometimes people get confused. They think, well, wait, but we're supposed to love our families and it's okay to love these things. Yes, absolutely. But when I say what is in the heart, I'm not talking about love. I am talking about absolute dependency. I'm talking about absolute attachments. I'm talking essentially about worship. Our problem is we take the gifts of Allah and we love them more than the giver. And this is a fact.
And that is why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala demands this from people, that before I let you taste a drop of my love, you must first remove the love of all else. He is not being unfair and unkind and selfish in saying, I will not share my love with anything else. He is pointing to a limitation of the human being, that the way I wired you and the way I created you, you cannot love two things obsessively at the same time. So you have blocked me from your heart. You have blocked access of my love to you, even though it is gushing with full force. You have blocked it because of your love of all else besides me. If that is removed, then you will just, it will be there. It will be ready and waiting for you. The Prophet Musa alayhi salam was once passing by a place and he saw a man in prostration begging Allah for his love. He went away, finished his work, he came back, the man was still in sajda, begging Allah. So he made a comment there. He said, if it was me he was begging for, I would have given him what he wants by now. If it was me he was asking, this much he is begging. I went and I came back, he is still in sajda asking for Allah. He heard a voice from his creator. Allah spoke to his Kaleem and said to him, O Musa, if his neck cracks and his head falls off, I will still not give him what he wants. Why, O Allah? Because his heart still loves the world. Until he removes it, he cannot experience my love. So at face value, it appears that Musa alayhi salam is more kind and giving than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But the reality is that Allah is pointing to this limitation, that you cannot love me and something else. Call him a jealous God if you like, but that is how it is. He created you and wired you like that. That if you want to experience my love, first all else must be removed from your heart.
ومن الناس من يتخذ من دون الله أندادا يحبونهم كحب الله والذين آمنوا أشد حبا لله ولو يرى الذين ظلموا إذ يرون العذاب أن القوة لله جميعا وأن الله شديد العذاب.
The first thing that we need to do is to try to understand what spirituality is. What usually happens is that human beings, when they're born, after the first couple of years of being born, children start to play around with certain toys. We buy them toys. They play around with them. And the only thing that they think is important for them are those toys. The colorful toys. Usually if you pay attention, if you see the toys that they have for the kids are very colorful. Right? It attracts their attention. And they like playing with that. The only thing that's important to the child is that you take it away from them, they start crying. They can't stand it. You have to play with those toys. The child grows up until they don't like those toys anymore. You got to get them newer toys. Toys that are fit for an older age. They start liking to play video games. Okay. And again, when you take those games away from them, they don't like that. Okay. When parents want to take those games away from them for their own good, for their studies, for prayer, or what have you, the child doesn't like to give that game up. They like to continue playing with it. And that's something that they enjoy. We kind of grow out of that. We get into university. Hopefully we grow out of it, because some people still play those video games, and they actually produce video games for that. You know, people buy these smartphones, and most of the time when you see them, they're playing around with it, and they're playing some game on it. There's loads of them that adults are playing. But for some of us, we grow out of that. We go to university, we gain that knowledge, then work is very important. And buying a house is important. Buying a car is important. We form a family, our children, all of that is important to us. We work to get a better house, a bigger house, a better car. We may start with a Toyota. I don't know what cars you guys start off with here in America. The cheaper cars are Toyotas, and some of the cheaper Toyotas and Hondas, and they start going towards Lexus and Acuras and Mercedes and what have you, and then a few of them, and then SUVs, BMW SUVs, and so on and so forth. This is what we consider important at that age, and that becomes the focus of our life. We go on and go on and go on with that until sometimes all the way to the end. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talks about some people in the Holy Quran, and He says these people, with their death, upon leaving this world, then their eyes open up to the reality that all of that was just a game. All of that was just something very insignificant, unimportant, but it's too late. But it's too late. The reality of this world has been described, this material world has been described by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the Holy Quran, where He says, إِنَّمَا الدُّنْيَا لَعِبٌ وَلَاهَوٌ. This dunya is truly nothing but la'ib and lahaw. Nothing but a game. We're playing around with it. These are our toys. And we think we've grown out of it. We look at those children. We look at what they're playing with. It's so insignificant. What is that toy? It's worth nothing to us. If we really paid attention and we realize how this world works, if we realize who Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is, if we realize our own worth, even these BMWs and mansions and huge homes and huge bank accounts, all of that is worth nothing. Absolutely nothing.
The Mall of America is one of the world's largest malls. Here are 10 mind-boggling facts about this landmark. Number 10. The numbers 55425 may not seem to be of importance, however, those digits serve as the mall's own zip code. Number 9. Counterintuitive to its name, the Mall of America is owned by a Canadian company, the 555 Group. Number 8. If you wanted, you could fit 7 Yankee stadiums inside of the building. Number 7. If you spent only 10 minutes in each store of the mall, it would take 86 hours to complete the tour. So you better love shopping when you come here. Number 6. There is nearly 4.5 miles of storefront footage. No need for a gym run after a visit here. Number 5. 65 semi-trucks were required to transport trees for the indoor theme park. Number 4. The Mall of America contains 13,300 tons of steel, 2 times more than in the Eiffel Tower. Number 3. More than 170,000 Legos have gone missing in the designated Lego play area. Number 2. Even during the Minnesota winter, air conditioning systems are sometimes turned on in the building to keep the temperatures comfortable due to the heat from people, skylights, and light fixtures. Number 1. The Sea Life Aquarium in the mall holds 1.2 million gallons of water.
Say to your followers, إن كان آباؤكم وأبناؤكم وإخوانكم وأزواجكم وعشيرتكم وأموال اقترفتموها وتجارة تخشون كسادها ومساكن ترضونها أحب إليكم من الله ورسوله وجهاد في سبيله فتربصوا. On one hand, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is listing everything which is there in the dunya. He says, if your fathers and mothers, if your sons and daughters, if your brothers and sisters, if your husbands or wives, if your family and the tribe, the people on one hand, and then the amwal, the wealth that you have accumulated, the business that you're always worried about it, that it might go down, وَمَسَاكِنُ تَرْضَوْنَهَا, and the houses that you have built and you love. So all these people and all these material goods that you have on one hand, if these collectively أَحَبَّ إِلَيْكُمْ, if all these individuals and these things are more dearer to you, أَحَبَّ is a superlative term here, more dearer to you, more preferable to you than Allah and His Messenger and the jihad in His way, all forms of jihad and struggle in His way, then Allah says, if all these things are more preferable to you than me, and then my Rasul, or the struggle in my path, فَتَرَبَّسُوا, then wait, be warned until حَتَّى يَأْتِيَ اللَّهُ بِأَمْرِهِ. Be warned and wait till Allah comes with His decision against you. وَاللَّهُ لَا يَحْدِي الْقَوْمَ الْفَاسِقِينَ. Allah does not guide anymore the people who are sinful. Here the term ahabba is a comparative sense here. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is not saying don't love your father and mother, don't love your siblings, do not love your husband or wife, do not love your brothers and sisters or your people of your tribe. Do not have attachment to the dunya in form of the mal or the tijarat or the house that you have. No, the question is ahabba ilaykum. If these things are more preferable to you than Allah wa rasulihi wa jihadin fi sabilihi, then Allah says, this is a warning. Wait till I come with my decision against you. Salawat.
And so namaz and show everything, humus or zakat or whatever be. Whatever we give, one cannot write a check. Hundreds of people have come to say, Mullah Sahab, I know that this much of haqqullah is upon me. Humus. How much? Don't tell anyone. Don't tell anyone. I'm telling you, Mullah Sahab. It's all right. So it's a secret. Now, right. हाथ चल तो नहीं हाथ चल तो नहीं the hand does not move. Why? Because there is value upon that money. He is thinking that without this there is no value in life. If I am worth some thousands or millions of sterling, then I am something. That means if I am accosted by people, salam alaikum said, or people just try to leave away when I enter because of my mapesa, or wherever I am, even if I am foolish, people say, Ana jao dayo joyo nati. Even if I speak rubbish and talk shop, because of the money, people say he is the wisest man ever born on earth. And with all the ugliness I have, people say, Ana jao ruparo joyo nati. Yeah? Simply because of money. And this is what worries me, that I can only achieve a status if Allah says, قُلْ لِلَّهِ الْعِزَّةِ جَمِيعًا. Izzah is for Allah. He gives izzah, not money. Because if that is the value which is transitory, then where that which is transitory passes over, what happens? A man who was multimillionaire yesterday, when he came here, we all stood up. Huh? When he spoke, we all voted for him. Because of money. M-O-N-E-W. N-E-Y. I always talk of double because it's money after all. But then, a phase comes when the money has fizzled out. Loss after loss incurred. The man is now penniless. Now he comes. He comes in the same society, among the same people. Nobody looks at him. Nobody offers him a chair. Nobody tells him. If he talks, people say, wait. Sit down. You have lost your senses together with your money. Why? I have seen this with my own eyes, and you have seen. You have seen, and all of you have seen. What happened? The value was transitory. When that disappeared, the man also disappeared. Allah says, I shall give you that izzah which will not disappear, because it is not going to be something plus you. It is going to be you, yourself, whether you have money or you don't.
I went to Target and JCPenney earlier, and I'm really excited because I got some good things at Target. First thing that I got, kind of boring. It's just a little spray bottle. This was up front. I think it was only $1. I got a blending sponge, and it also came with brush and sponge cleanser. I've been wanting to try one of these for a while, and I didn't want to spend a ton of money buying that beauty blender, so I thought I would try this one out. This one is by Sonia Kashuk, I think. So this was, how much was this? Oh, $10. And I finally bought one of these curling wands. I've been wanting to get one of these for a long time, and I decided to buy one. This was $24.99, and it's the 1/2 inch to 1 inch. It's by Remington. And the last thing I got, I'm so excited! I got a flip cam. Was $59.99, and then if you use your Target card, you can get 5% off, so it's like $3 off. So I got this. I'm really super excited to try this. I mainly bought this just for vlogging and stuff, just because I hate carrying my big camera. So that's what it looks like. I gotta put the batteries in and test it out, so I'm definitely going to be doing some more vlogging. Really excited. I can't wait to try this.